Hello everyone, this is LW Gaming and welcome back for another video of Sword of Convallaria. Today we're going to be taking a look at what has been added for this week, but before we start talking about what has been added for this week for the events, there's actually an event that started before the actual weekly update. So let's talk about what this is about. So there is this event called this event is called Touched by Your Generosity. This one started this one started since the April Fool's Day, or also known as April 1st. That's the time when this event was live, and you can get these rewards for free, of course. And the skin you can get for free is Tidon, which I unfortunately do not have as the character yet, unfortunately. And I gotta say, this skin looks pretty nice. Like it's basically Tidon as a butler. I don't know. When you look at this, it looks kind of funny in some ways. But there's also this here called the Heroes Quest Chronicles. There's a new Spiral Destiny challenge available right now, which I don't think I'm able to do this because I don't have knowledge level 30 yet. So I won't be able to show this yet at the moment. I think that's it. Oh, as far as the event goes, yeah, that's about it. And as for the banners, let's see, what do we have? Actually, wait, before looking at the banner, let's see what's in the shop. There's some recharges on here. Memorial. Okay, yeah, the new avatar frame. The duty of law is the new one. For those who have who wants Raria's frame as well. Yesterday XD devs they distributed everyone the Safia's avatar frame because she is the winner of the vote. And now people can choose to opt in to buy the other one if they choose to, which is nice. Personally, this one looks pretty nice as well, so I'm gonna get this. There we go. And now for the banners. Let's see what do we have available this week. This guy's gonna be here for one more week, so if you haven't got him yet, do so as soon as possible. And also, I'm gonna remind you again if it's like approaching the final day. Just to let you know. Anyways, we got a new Destined banner. This one features two characters from the past. Cocoa is back once again. If you have missed her the first time, this is the perfect opportunity for you to get her. And there's also Inanna in this on this banner as well. Two best healers in the game. Well, the best ones is Inanna, of course, because of her act again. You get the deal. Anyways, the reason why Cocoa counts as a healer because she also heals technically, and also a tank as well. Best of both worlds, gonna say. Anyways, Cocoa, she's right here at 5 stars. This is what she looks like as a 1 star initially, or below 5 stars. I mean. Anyways, this is her trait. Coco possesses block. Her HP is increased by 20%. At the start of each round, she grants breakfast to the two allies with the lowest HP percentage within 2 tiles of herself. After a breakfast or bento effect is triggered, the target gains happiness. So, you may be thinking, what is this mechanism on this one here? So, block is basically what most of the defenders have. Basically, it negates like a certain amount of damage if they were attacked from the front or side. And it also has a 50% chance to face the attacker and reduce the damage by 20%. So, yeah, block doesn't always activate, as far as I know, but it's like a 50-50 chance. But if it does activate, they will not take much damage, which is pretty nice. And the breakfast effect is a buff. At the start of the turn, recovers 15% HP and dispels one debuff, which is useful. And there's also bento, which is basically the same thing as breakfast, but this is the this is the better version of that, where it recovers 25% HP instead and dispels two debuffs. And happiness basically reduces the energy consumption by 1, and the cooldown for that skill is reduced by 1 turn as well. And after use, this effect is removed. So yeah, what I think about this character? This character is excellent for support for your team, and she can fit well in any teams, by the way. And there's also this basic skill called No Turning Back. I mean, No Turning Around. I mean, it's a single target attack. Cocoa deals 100% physical damage when performing a back attack. There is a 70% chance she will inflict stun on the target for 1 turn. Can only be triggered once per target per battle. Okay, so that means the stun will only work 1 time for each character that she hits. Which I guess to be balanced in some ways, because you do not want Coco to continuously stun the enemy. Otherwise, that is too broken. And having the chance at 70% is pretty fair, and it only does it once. And there's also Coco's treasure chest. This one has like 4 different skills you can choose from. There's the springing bandage, which basically does the little bit of heal for allies within a ring around her. And this ancient potion, which is the one that I believe clears debuffs, as far as I know. Actually no, it heals the ally for like a good amount of HP, based on caster's HP, and restores 1 energy, can be cast up to 3 times. Yeah, there's actually limitations of what these skills do. So the bandage one is an instant skill that heals an ally for 25% of caster's HP, and this can be used up to 5 times. And the Snow Lotus is it dispels all debuffs on the target and grants damage 3 up and damage reduction 3. And then also immune to attribute debuffs for 3 turns, and this can be used up to 3 times. and finally, finally the hallucinogenic mushrooms. I think that's what that's called, but I'll just call it mushrooms for simplification. This does pierce damage equal to 30% of the target's HP, and this inflicts sleep. And the sleep is guaranteed, by the way, if you hit the enemy. And this will last for 1 turn. But however, keep in mind the sleep effect will wipe out if they take damage, which makes sense. Honestly, who would sleep if they get hit? Honestly, that wouldn't make much sense. So yeah, sleep is like stun, but actually worse version of that. And then after that, it inflicts 2 stacks of infection, which I guess that makes sense because mushrooms, some are poisonous, as far as I know, can be cast up to 3 times per battle. So yeah, this skill is really flexible, like in many situations where if you need extra healing, this skill is for you, and you can even use it on the go, or you can use it offensively by throwing mushrooms at your opponent, and then they will fall asleep, just temporarily until they get hit, or after the turn ends. And there's also the reaction skill called Stay Strong. After being hit by a single target attack, heals the character and one other ally with the lowest HP percentage within 2 tiles around the character for 12% of caster's HP. This can be activated 2 times per round. This is a powerful healing skill whenever you get hit. So this is perfect for Cocoa because she'll be tanking for you, and then when she successfully tanked the attack, she's going to be able to give yourself and your one ally a healing effect, which is pretty nice. And there's also Potluck Protector, and when blocking, damage taken decreases by 15%. If the character is not dying, performs assisting cover to all other allies within 2 tiles. Yep, she's essentially a tank with this skill. It's a passive skill. And finally, there is Iron Pot Stew. It's a healing skill that heals all allies within 3 tiles around her for 30% of her HP and grants them crit 2 up, crit damage 1 up for 2 turns, as well as a bento effect, which is very useful. And now let's talk about what faction she's part of. So Cocoa is part of Velder, which makes sense because she is part of the family there. And there's also Fortitude, which I think most of the tough units in the game are part of this faction. And next up, let's talk about Inanna. Inanna is a very powerful healer. Like imagine her as Liana from Languisher. She's exactly like that, but in the role of healing. So let's see what these are. So, anyways, Pearl of Aria. At the start of the battle, Inanna summons one Guard of the Princess. At the end of the turn, she heals the two allies within the lowest HP percentage within four tiles of herself for 25% of her M attack, or magic attack, I mean, and grants them one random level 2 buff for 2 turns. Guard of the Princess's attack and defense increased by 15%. The skill to summon Guard of the Princess can be used an additional 2 times per battle, which is pretty awesome because in case if your guard goes down, you can resummon it back, which is pretty awesome with the skill at least. And before I go any further, this is what she looks like initially. It looks pretty nice, and this is what she looks like as a 5 stars. And then there's also guard, the guard skill here, which is a support skill and it's an instant skill as well. Teleports the guard of princess in front of Inanna and grants the guard potential burst for 2 turns. When the guard is defeated, the skill summons a new guard of the princess. So yeah, this is a skill I was talking about. So if your guard ends up like dead in any point at any point of battle, this skill is treated as a summon skill. So if you lose the guard, you can get it back. But however, there's a limited usage though, as far as I know. So you can only use this like up to 3 times if your Inanna is at 5 stars. But other stars, I don't think you'll be able to summon that much. You could only be able to summon it once, I think. But the more stars you have, the more chances you can summon. And it's also Princess's Comfort, which is basically a healing skill, which will heal all allies within 2 tiles for 60% of her M attack, which is useful, and dispels 2 of their debuffs. Pretty nice. And there's also Princess's Prayer. This is essentially the act again, and grants the ally attack 2 up and magic defense 2 up for 2 turns. If the target is the guard of the princess, additionally heals the guard for 60% aim attack. Yeah, I mean, most of the time you may want to use that on other characters besides your guard because, your guard is just there to protect your units. I mean, sure, they can do decent damage, but not as much as other characters, though. So I think for the best use of this act again, use it on your other characters, like Gloria, anybody in general, actually, where you need it the most. And there's also Battlefield Trial is a reaction skill. Decreases damage taken by 8%. For each character defeated within 5 tiles around the character, increases M attack by 6%, up to 30%. This is a pretty powerful reaction skill, as far as I've seen here. And there's also Flight of the Princess. It's a healing skill. Inanna sacrifices 90% of her current HP to dispel all debuffs. She grants invisibility and healing 5 up, and expands the range of trait skill by 2 times. She heals all allies within range. All effects last for 2 turns. Yeah, this skill is powerful, but at the cost of her own HP. So, yeah, do I think this is powerful? Sure, in many ways, but however, this does not protect her against AOE. So if Inanna gets AOE for any reason, she is vulnerable. So be sure to be careful about activating this skill because this skill not only heals your allies and also increases her trait. This sacked 90% of her HP, which is a huge chunk of her HP, and it could put her in a dying state. So when you use this, be careful. Only use it if you believe you have got rid of most of the AOE units that could potentially hurt her. As for the factions, she's part of Iria, which makes sense because she is she's the princess of Iria, and she's also part of Discipline, as well as Sword Convallaria. So, anyways, fortunately, I already got both of these characters, and they're both 5 stars, which is amazing on my part because I don't have to summon here at all. I'm gonna show you guys the full kit. I'm not gonna explain too much here because I think I already explained what they are now. So I'm just gonna give you guys a breakthrough of what their skills are and where you unlock them. So this is what her like skill class look. This is what her skill tree looks like. So as you can see, that this is a crush and bash, mountain tribe. You can pause the video just to look at it at your own time, at your own pace if you need to, because I am not gonna explain everything because this will make the video too long. Okay. Yep. Oh yeah. By the way, this is the leader's aura for all voters, if you need it. And there you go. That's Cocoa's skill tree. And now let's look at Inanna's skill tree. And doesn't seem like I upgraded her to 12 yet. That's fine. It's not gonna matter me much because she's just a healer after all. Anyways, the nice thing about her is that her act against skill can be unlocked right at the start, which is awesome. Okay, that is all her skills here. So what do you guys think about these two characters? They're a nice addition to your team if you haven't got them already. So, what I recommend if you haven't got any of these two characters, I would highly recommend you to get Inanna first before Cocoa. But if you end up getting Cocoa first, that's also fine because she does give you a lot of support for the healing part and also tanking as well. But if you have Inanna, then great because now you have an act again unit. So, anyways, that's it for this video. Hope y'all find this video helpful or informative, and I'll see you all next time.